What if Ruby was in the Land Before Time 7, The Stone of Cold Fire? Part 2. It was calm and quiet. The Far Walkers slept in a large group. Near the secret caverns, Chomper woke up and took a walk, going to one particular place. Looking at the pebbles, he inspected one before he tossed it aside. He lifted his head, picking up a scent. Ducky, stumbling out of the brush.
Chomper, is that you? Huh?
Ducky, what are you doing out here?
I'm going to find Petrie and tell him how sorry I am. If I am to be his future mate, I should not pass judgment on his creepy uncle. I should support him as he would with me. Yep.
I'll join you. I want him to know I'm sorry too.
So what were you doing out here?
Definitely not looking for a pebble for Ruby. They shared a small smile and moved quietly through the slumbering herd. Among the stillness, voices whispered. Curious, Chomper, with Ducky clutching his arm, moved in to discover the voices belonged to Toronto, Rinkus, and Sierra. If that long neck don't talk, we could always make him talk. Rinkus twisted his tail, as though giving an example of what he'd do to Littlefoot's long neck. And afterwards, Sierra drew his finger along his throat. No, we can't cause trouble. The children's parents are already suspicious of me, are watching us. If we do something, they'll know it was I. We must find the Stone of Cold Fire. With its powers, I will rule the mysterious beyond and destroy all sharp teeth. As for the Great Valley, all within will kneel before me. Not liking Toronto's plot for the Great Valley and mysterious beyond, Chomper and Ducky slipped backwards, trying to keep quiet, till... Achoo! Chomper covered his muzzle. A pair of shadows fell over them, Sierra grabbing and lifting Ducky, who screamed. Rushing in, Chomper bared his fangs, was going to cut the flyer with his claws to save his friend. What are you doing? Toronto plucked Ducky from his grasp. Getting us to the Stone of Cold Fire. Sierra eyed Chomper up. He would lead us there. Rinkus jumped in to help Sierra pin Chomper down, tying thick vines to restrain him, keeping him from biting or slicing them. After a good deal of struggling, Chomper grunted and thrashed, the flyers huffing and puffing. The ruckus caused the herd to panic, several running around, fearful of a sharp-toothed attack. Change of plans, we leave now. Toronto took off to the sky. Rinkus and Sierra joined him, Rinkus carrying the bound Chomper within his feet. The three headed toward the wall before Petrie flew up and tried to reach his uncle. Uncle, stop! Let friends go! Petrie, tell them not to follow and no harm will befall the swimmer girl.
Help me, Petrie!
Ducky reached out toward him. Ducky, Chomper! Petrie attempted to help, only to be struck and plummet to the ground. Over the great wall, the three flyers, along with their captives, Ducky and Chomper, vanished from sight. At the gathering place, by morning's early light, Ducky's mother sobbed, worried for her daughter. Petrie's mother comforted Ducky's mother. Why didn't anyone tell me Toronto was back? Mr. Threehorn questioned with anger, before his gaze fell upon Sarah. Sarah? Well, I figured you'd be mad. Oh, I'm not mad. I'm furious, bellowed Mr. Threehorn. Come on, no need to get upset. To get upset won't help Ducky or Chomper, Trudy said. Yes, our kids weren't even there when it happened, Grandpa Longneck said sadly.
When what happened? Ruby questioned. We're old enough to know. To know would be nice.
It happened on our way to the Great Valley, Grandpa Longneck started. Like you kids, we stuck together because there was safety in numbers. Many years ago, the adults traveled along the mysterious beyond. There was one who wanted to lead, to be the highest among the rest. That was Toronto. He bragged, said he knew best, could find a shortcut to the Great Valley. Thus, the great herd separated. Toronto was so busy enjoying his new title as leader, he forgot to take up the leadership responsibilities. Above, he should have kept an eye out for danger, yet he failed to do so. Thus, The herd below had no clue they were being stalked. Not only were they being stalked, they were followed by none other than Red Claw. Fast biters leapt out and attacked the herd, causing them to panic, running amok. Red Claw charged and grabbed any he could in his massive jaw. Toronto was above and watched helplessly as the innocent were slaughtered, a female tumbling and clutching to a ledge that overlooked a massive waterfall. Unable to hang on, she fell and her cries subsided once she was out of sight. The stragglers, who still stood, fended off the fast biters, but were no match for Red Claw. Jaw covered in blood, Red Claw placed a foot upon the pile of dead bodies, letting all know who was truly in charge of the mysterious beyond. Unable to watch the sharp teeth feed upon the carcasses, Toronto flew back to the herd that still lived. He never told us what happened, only that it wasn't his fault. Grandpa Longneck's voice was calm, yet held a trace of sadness. As for the others, we never saw them again. Never again did we see them, Rodney put in.
But Toronto's right. It's not his fault others can't fly away.
As a leader, it was his fault. A leader must keep an eye out for danger. Ensure the best for the herd. Grandma added. So where did they go? Mr. Three-Horn grumbled. To the Stone of Cold Fire. Where else? Petrie's mom added. Not that nonsense again. Whether or not I believe in the Stone Cold Fire, that is where they would go. Petrie's mom looked at Littlefoot. Right. Where did the rock land? Tell us exactly where we need to go. Littlefoot lit up and told the adults where it fell. On a hill, the group waited, watched, and hoped the adults would go after Ducky and Chomper. It was clear after some time the adults weren't going anywhere fast. Most likely, they were arguing. The one who made the choice to go was Spike. He rose and marched towards the great wall, Ruby holding her head high and following him. Isn't it usually the damsel who needs help instead of the dude? Sarah remarked, eyeing Ruby up. How sweet. She's going to save her one true love. Knock it off, Sarah. It's clear the adults won't go. So, we must. Yeah, we coming, Ducky and Chomper. The gang wasted no time and climbed the great wall, making their way into the mysterious beyond. Ahead of the gang, given they flew, the flyers fluttered down to take a short rest. Plopped on the rock, Chomper fought against the vines, Ducky rushing to his side. Unable to talk, he looked at her and offered her a knowing nod, to which she smiled.
Please, let him go. He needs to eat. He does.
Why don't you shut that big mouth of yours? Sierra raised his wing, preparing to hit Ducky. Sierra! Toronto landed and grabbed his wing. No harm is to befall the swimmer. Fine, I won't hurt the swimmer. Sierra yanked his wing free and gave a swift kick into Chomper, who curled in on himself. Though you never said nothing about the sharp tooth.
Please, Mr. Toronto, Chomper is hungry.
I don't think it would be wise to untie his muzzle. There are some very sharp teeth in his mouth.
I will take care of him. I will.
Very well. Do as you wish, girl. Ducky quickly removed the vine from his mouth, Chomper lunging to snap at the flyers. The flyers flapped and drew back, giving them time to get away. Ducky aided Chomper, the pair trying to go, till the flyers dove at them. Go, Ducky, go! Chomper bared his fangs, growling defensively. I'll be fine. Go! Warn the others of Toronto's plan. With a nod, Ducky took off and only made it a short way before the rocks crumbled and she vanished from sight. Shocked, Chomper was jumped and his mouth was clamped shut, Sierra lifting and slamming Chomper's head harshly to the earth, knocking him out. Ducky! Toronto peered down the hole. Ducky, dear, can you hear me? Come out, we won't harm you. No response. Poor girl. She was so young, so full of life. So what? I promised her safety and I failed. Well, you should be used to that by now, Toronto. We need to move, Rinkus added. Once the Sharptooth wakes up, he'll guide us to the stone of cold fire. Plucked from the ground, Chomper was taken away. All the while, in the hole, Ducky was safe, landing in the water below and surfacing. The only question was, where to go once she was in the cave? The gang came upon a great crevice, Littlefoot inspecting it and glancing toward a thick vine. He touched it and found it was sturdy, could hold their weight. Before he could get too far, Sarah hurried to his side. "Hold on, I'm going first." Okay, sure." "Last thing I want is to be stuck in the back, chased by a Sharptooth and screaming my head off." "Whatever you want, Sarah." Rolling his eyes, Littlefoot let her go first. He followed, Ruby scampering over, and last was Spike. All were halfway across when the vines shook. Ruby worried it was an earthshake. The vines trembled, and all froze, slowly dropping down. Spike nibbled at the vine, and with one last chomp, snap! "Hang on!" Littlefoot instructed before Petrie clutched his neck, cutting off his air. "Not that tight." "I told you!" Free falling, Ruby clamped her eyes shut and prepared to slam into the rocks. The far end was still attached, then broke off as the gang found themselves being flung into the mouth of a cave. Tumbling, they collided in a tangled heap. Slowly they stirred and rose, Ruby brushing the vines from her body.
"Oh, I hope Chomper is okay."
"Yes, your dear little Sharptooth lover." Sarah pushed Littlefoot's tail from her head. "You know, Littlefoot, when I said I wanted to be near you, I didn't mean it like this." "Well, this wasn't what I wanted either, Sarah." All stood and Petrie sighed. This all me fault." "Yeah, it is." "Sarah!" Poor Ducky."
"Poor me."
Ducky sat on a rock, lifting her head and smiling. "Wait, guys!" She leapt up and hugged the gang, rushing to lean into Petrie's hold, her bill placing several kisses upon him.
"Ducky,"
Ruby wrung her hands.
Is Chomper here? Nearest Chomper?" "I'm sorry, Ruby. I am. He allowed me to flee, saved me. He was very brave. He was.
"Right. Our mission isn't done. We need to save Chomper." Littlefoot held a serious expression. Out of the cave they pressed on, lurking in the shadows as a set of figures scurried about. The gang, unaware they were being followed, stayed close to the rock, hoping to avoid being seen by the flyers. Clouds gathered, and soon enough rain poured downward. "We should seek shelter."
"What about Chomper?"
Ruby was willing to press on. "Me sure flyer's not flying. Not even Uncle crazy enough to stay out in air."
"Let's hope you're right, Petrie."
Finding a cave to take shelter in, all settled down to sleep. All but Ruby. With a sad expression, she peered out as lightning flashed across the sky. "Sometimes I close my eyes and say a prayer that finally today will be the day I watch the far rise and no one's there, that somewhere you are safe and on your way. Oh, Chomper, sometimes I wonder if you're still alive. How could you survive such a dangerous world out there? Beware, my love. Take care, my love. Take care." Among the pouring of rain, the three flyers dove, Rinkus screeching as a bolt of lightning almost struck him. Toronto located a cave for them to land in, Chomper sitting away from the group. "So, Once we find the stone, what do we do with the Sharptooth? I say we toss him in the water. Sharpteeth don't swim too well. I'm the one in charge, and what I say goes. Now get some rest. We have a long day ahead of us tomorrow. Toronto lay and drifted off easily, Sierra sneering. I'd like to knock him across the head. Don't worry. Once our Sharptooth guide takes us the stone, we'll have no need for him. Or Toronto. Yeah, we'll make some changes in the pecking order. Sierra glared down at Chomper. I look forward to seeing you die. Sharpteeth, you think you're better than us? Yet here you are, weak, alone. You die as easily as we do. Chomper shivered and got the feeling he was on borrowed time. Once he found the stone a cold fire for them, the flyers would kill him. It seemed the sins of not only his grandfather, Sharptooth, but he was going to pay for the sins of all Sharpteeth.